Welcome to Lawn Rush. In today's video, I want to show you guys my setup for grinding blades. Now, I was gonna go drop the money for the one that everyone's using. I can't think of the name exactly. It's called like RBG something. I don't know. But I ended up going to Harbor Freight and picking up this belt grinder. And I was gonna try and see if I could get it to work kind of sort of like that RGB whatever grinder. It's available on Amazon, but this one's from Harbor Freight. I noticed it had this disc here on the side, and it's also got this flat grinder. So let me plug this up and kind of show you how it works out for blades. I think it works pretty good. I guess I can show both variations here, but this unit was like 300 bucks. See how big the motor is. Pretty straightforward design. It powers on, it's quiet enough. And yeah, let's grab a blade and see how it does. Maybe I can set this camera somewhere. Let's see. I'm gonna grab a blade. Oh, don't want to bump into it. That might hurt. Okay. So I got this set up. I got a fan here too. If I want, I can blow the fan out. But essentially, all the shavings are going outside, so all the grit kind of goes away. I got my safety glasses on, and basically you can do either one. You can use this thing kind of like how the RBG, but it doesn't have the blade guide, so you'd have to try to balance it or find that angle, and that cuts real good, but it's hard to see the angle with that. Now this one, I didn't think this was going to be the one to use, but believe it or not, it works good. So I just take it like this and I set it just like that. It sends all the sparks away from me, and I can just use this whole disc, and I can kind of find flat and just mimic the angle that's already there. Just work it back and forth. Now the beauty of this is it doesn't really grind quite as fast as the RBG or RGB, whatever. I don't know the exact name, but the one that everyone uses doesn't grind quite as fast, but it leaves it really hard. And it leaves a really nice cut, honestly better. Even though it doesn't have the guides, it leaves a better cut. Like that is razor sharp, and it is just an impressive cutting machine. So hopefully that's showing up good as how good of a cut that is. I mean, that really cuts more. It's not as easy to get an even cut with this, but I don't know, it's not bad. So, but this, you can see everything you're doing with this. And that's kind of how I work it. And it gives a ton of sanding material. And these belt discs aren't expensive. This is an 80 grit, and I could probably get it to grind a little faster if I got a rougher grit. But I mean, that quick and that sharp. That's pretty sharp. So hopefully the camera can pick up on that. Let me try this other one. I really don't use it as much. Don't quite cut as good, but I could try and see if I can work it. Let's see. You know what? That ain't half bad. Again, I can get a real good cut without having the blade guide. That's just barely starting to scratch the surface there, but let's keep on messing with it. Basically, I'm just putting it against this flat surface to kind of get a feel for how that would be. And it would be kind of like that. This throws material faster, I think. Okay. So pretty good. I mean, it's kind of hard to get it as flat of a cut, but you are able to do it this way. But I am getting some heat. You can see it gets some heat stress there on the corner where it's starting to discolor. And that's changing the hardness. You don't get that with this grinder here. This one stays way cooler. And it's just super consistent. So I'm pretty worn in the middle. I'm getting a lot more sparks along the edges. Like I said, I can move this around, circular. Giving it a circular motion gives it like a crosshatch pattern. And again, I just worked that whole side, that whole area, and it's just sharp. Now I can hit the back side to give it another little now that's sharp. Back side on the other side. I mean, we're talking razor sharp at this point. And it doesn't get as hot when you use this disc. It just, these blades are holding their edges longer. There you go, you can see. Razor sharp. So this blade I think is good. Now another thing to consider is because of what we're doing here, we do not have the best balancing. I don't really balance the blades because my blades are not going on a spindle. I mean, they're not going on an engine, they're going on a spindle. So for me, I don't balance. If these were going on a motor, I still wouldn't balance. I don't balance the blades on the push mower either, and they go right on the engine. It's just not that big of a deal, especially if it's going on a spindle. Here's a mower that's been broken for a while. It needs a hydro gear, and I'm kind of going back and forth on whether or not it's worth. It's definitely not worth it, but I don't know, $1,200 for that, for this old thing. But when you put the blade on the spindle, does it really matter if it's balanced? Not really, because the spindle is carrying it, and you're not going to wear the spindle out with a blade that's not balanced, and you're really not going to notice. that the blade's not balanced on the spindle. Now, if you're on the engine, then yeah, maybe better to have a balanced blade. And if you can balance the blade, sure, I'm sure it's better. It probably runs a little bit smoother with the mower. But for me, I don't sweat the balancing. Look at this Harbor Freight fan. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of Harbor Freight lately. But yeah, I'm not so worried about balancing the blades. Never had a problem. Thousands and thousands of hours of mowing and never balanced blades for real, and never had a problem. So not gonna sweat that, but this ended up working out good. I do think the RGB grinder is faster, but I think having this big disc is better, and you get a sharper, cooler cut blade with less heat stress, and overall a longer service life out of the blades. I mean, it just cuts these blades down evenly, and we're just having a lot of success with it so far. So maybe I need to turn the grit up a little bit on this one in order to get it to cut a little quicker, but that might start the heat stress, I don't know. But it's just, it has the benefit of working so much of the metal surfaces with the available power that compared to this style, which is more similar to what you would typically get, this focuses so much of that heat against the blade, and as you grind the tip of it, like as you come across here and then you get to the end, for whatever reason the ends get a darkened heat stress color to them. So I don't know if that color makes them harder and makes it brittle and wants to break out, but doing it this way seems to get a longer lasting edge and a better wear pattern on the blade. You know, as these blades get ground more times, they start to get a weird shape, and I think I'm avoiding some of that by just using this. But anyway, my name is Sean, this is Lawn Rush. See you in the next video. Over and out.